Cool. So I'm going to make some stuff in the lab today. So here I've just got some water. So it's just regular water but it's under a vacuum. You'll notice there's all sorts of weird chinky chink type noises. And you just about see it at the bottom there. That what it really is you've got low, or the only gas pressure in here is the water vapor pressure, and of course that goes to nothing very quickly. And so you get this bizarre property of water in a vacuum. So I was going to make my patrons a version of this. Now it turns out that these things are actually much more fiddly than you might expect to get to work, in that you've got to get the dimensions about right, otherwise it's not going to work so well. You might be wondering what the hell this was all about. This was for distilling water. So earlier on there were vials on here, and you distill the water into these, then you cut off the vials, and they're sealed in ultra high vacuum, and they're basically good for 1,000 years or something. And that at the back there is all the D2O I've distilled over the years. So we're doing these studies about why D2O tastes sweet, and They wanted some ultra pure D2O, so whatever, I distilled them some D2O. You might be wondering what this big long glass tube is, by the way. Well, it's exactly what it looks like. It's a big long glass tube. This was originally going to be part of the latest Flat Earth video. Because the flat earthers who don't believe in gravity, if you put helium into the top of a container, helium should float, right? Well, no. Helium, it behaves like, bouncy balls, same as all the other gases, which in practice means, seeing as those gas molecules are travelling at about the speed of sound, they fill up a tube like this basically instantly. So you could put in high voltage electric discharge across here and one at the bottom, and show that they basically occur simultaneously. It turned out to be harder to get working than it sounded. And the other one, what was the other one I was planning to do with this? Oh yeah, the gas transport. Once you get down to these low vapor pressures, the mean free path of gas molecules gets very long. So this is about 10 to the minus 5, or should have been, not so sure it still is. But that means it's about 1/1,000,000th of an atmosphere. At that sort of vapor pressure, the gas molecules go about this far between colliding with another gas molecule. So this means that the heat transfer across these things is crazy. And that's also, here's another one. The good ideas don't always work out. So this is another one which was a very good idea, which I'm sure I can get this thing working. It's just I've not done it yet. So that's mercury in there. Again, this is 1/1,000,000th of an atmosphere in here, and this one is all sealed up. And you'll notice you've got two constrictions here. So the original idea was that at this sort of vapor pressure, like I was saying, gas molecules travel about that far between colliding, which should mean that the gas molecules that go through there and through there won't collide with this side of the container at all, and then will impact on the end there. And so if I heat this part up to, 100 degrees or something, what I should get is a very small spot on the end here where there is mercury condensation. And if I looked at it with a thermal camera, that little bit should get hot and nothing else should. In practice, didn't work so well. It kind of works. I mean, the heat transfer around this thing is crazy with the low vapor pressure. But it didn't work so well. So yeah, I've got to make another variant at this at some point, because these are the sort of common features of all things like mass spectrometers, is that in a really high vacuum, molecules basically fly in a straight line. So if you give it two holes to collimate it, it should go straight through. This interstaging zone needs to be pumped in some fashion. And seeing as I don't want to particularly pump mercury vapor all over the place, I would probably just add a sort of cryo trap in here or something. And I tried it the other way around, where it seemed to work somewhat better is, you know, you heat it down there. And it looks quite funky on the thermal camera. I'll do that sometime. Anyway, that's not where I'm starting. Where I'm starting is I'm going to make a bunch of prototypes for stuff that does that. Cool. And so now I made a variety of shape and sizes of these guys. And I'm going to seal them all up under vacuum. In fact, I'm going to attach them directly to this kit over here, put it all under vacuum, get some water in them and see which one of these designs works the best. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera a little further away here because when I do my leak test, all the high voltage resets the camera. What you'll get if there are leaks is sparks like that, and it looks like we're in pretty good shape here, which means that we can now dry out the kit, flame it out to make sure there's no absorbed crap on the surface of this. Then I'm going to fill it up with water, degas the water, see which ones work best. Then I'm going to have to cut these off and see how well they perform as a sort of final gadget. So first of all, I'm actually going to wash the kit. So I've got some just regular water in here, and I'm going to seal the kit up. And because it's all under vacuum, of course, you don't worry about this. This is just sort on the outside. This is absolutely nothing on the inside. But even at this point, we might get some. It goes into the holes fairly well. Hey, even works at this level. Wow. Well, they're not great. Not great. It's oh, this one does. It's all about getting a really good vacuum in there. Anyway, so I'm going to give this a good washing. See, the nice thing about it all being under vacuum is there is no resistance, or almost no resistance, for the water to go through capillaries. Normally water will just be held in there because there's a slight pressure on the inside here. That's just not the case here. It just goes through capillaries like they're absolute nothing. And it just empties straight out. Cool. I'm going to wash that and get it all clean and dried out. Right, next I'm going to bake the kit out of it, which basically means heating it up to a couple of 100 degrees, and that makes it super clean on the inside. Now I'm going to bake out the bits that we're interested in. And the way you do this is you get it so hot that you get a nice orange glow off it. That means it's up to about 300 degrees Celsius. So it's about there. You start seeing the orange glow. You get much hotter than that, the glass starts to melt. So seeing it's under vacuum, that means it collapses in pretty short order. It's very thick glasses, so it takes a little time to bake down. Once this is all done, I will then move on to letting it cool down. Then we fill it up with water, degas the water, and then we'll see what it's all like. It's one of those simple realities. One of the easiest ways to clean off the glass is to heat it up to about 300 degrees, at which point basically everything that's organic turns into gas of one sort or another as it decomposes. Good. So now I'm going to pump it down, and as it pumps down, you'll see in places like this So the gas on this side's been sucked out. It'll bubble a little. Yeah, this is kind of fun. How much gas can you get out of one little area like this? So basically, once we get down to the vapor pressure of water, it'll stop boiling. So what I'll probably do is I'll pump it all down, then I'll get all the water in here, and then I'll ultrasound it to degas it even further from there. Good, so he's now mostly under vacuum, and this is because there's a, yeah, if I warm this up with my fingers, you'll see that it boils quicker. And if I cool it down by ice, can't find ice, but I got profiterole. Profiterole should suck it all back in, like that. Cool. So I'm going to pump that down a bit, get all the gas out of the water, and once we're done there, we'll see how we can seal some of these guys up. Good. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ultrasound this. I would have, it was plugged in. Right, now I'm going to ultrasound this, and it'll look like it's boiling like crazy. Not entirely true. Most of what's coming out is gas, and even more than that, because it's still bits of gas in essentially a vacuum, it looks like it's boiling like crazy. So there's the ultrasound. Just a regular ultrasound bath, but it will have quite a strong effect once the water gets in there. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to leave that like that for about 5 minutes. And hopefully that will get rid of most of the gas from this kit. Good. So we're now closing down. And we will see how we're doing. So any luck now? That's a transfer. Oh, straight in. There we go. That's not bad. Yeah, this is not bad. It's difficult to tell which one's doing which. Actually, maybe I could make a musical instrument out of all this. Right, I'm going to cut some of these up and see what I can do. Alright, let's try for a little snick and see what we can do. Top though, I don't want it to crack. Oh, he's nice. He's good. go. Done. That's pretty decent. Yeah, nice little gap in there, and that's it's okay. Okay, like that you can see easily how it works. And it does, you get the right angle on it. Cool, so they all kind of work after a fashion. So you shake them in different ways. Yeah, they got different levels of how much they will confuse people. I can tell you that for certain. Right? So people just don't expect liquids to do that when they're shaken, and they'll spend for hours looking around. Where is the piece of glass in there that's making the noise? So that's that one. This one I think is the best performer in that you actually just actually if you get a little bubble in there, then it's really quite good. Yeah, he was better earlier. You actually see what he's doing there, this one. That's it makes it awesome when you can't actually see what's happening when you're actually shaking it. Yeah, well, what's making the noise? And where's the last one? Just the last one. This one I think is the crappiest of all of them. But the nicest thing is you have to shake it, which means you can't look at it whilst you're shaking it, which makes it much more tricky to work out what the hell's going on. Actually, maybe I'll just make some straight tube versions of these. Yeah. So it depends what you're after. If you're after something that just confuses people, then in many ways this is awesome, because this makes lots of noise. It's not bad actually. That's just awesome. Yeah, you shake it and it makes you gotta be a bit careful when you do these, because it is actually possible for the water hammer just to break the glass, but these are sufficiently soft that it's not gonna happen. You can just sort of shake it and then say, yeah, tell me where the bead is in there. And this is what the playback looks like at some 20,000 frames per second. So you can see, if you watch it all at 20,000 frames per second, it's going to take a while. So let's speed it up a bit. There we go. And it's closing. It's closing. And boom.